10 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
And good morning, everyone. How the heck are you? Welcome to the Wednesday Hump Day, New Comic Day. Pardon me. I'm so choked up. The November 10th, 2021 edition. Nevermind the Furthermore. How the heck are you this morning? Hope you're having a great week so far. I am. Anyway, we want to start out, of course, with the attitude of gratitude, with thanking each and every one of you for showing up this morning. And whether you're watching us on the rerun or watching us live, you are appreciated. Please leave us, some comments and on the live show, and we'll write down our comments in our head and just skip the filters and just go ahead and say it. And if you're watching us on the rerun, put a comment below and we'll try to reply to you, okay? Anyway, glad you're here, and we're also glad for the sponsorship of Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. As a creative, there are things you should not do. One is try to wave your hand and gesture while you are holding a cup of coffee. And the other one is sending out a book without the best cover you can possibly find. And if you want to find that cover, let Jeffrey Hayes work on yours at Plasma Fire Graphics. Check them out on Facebook. Check them out on plasmafiregraphics.com. And prepare to be amazed not only at the quality of the work, but the affordability. Oh my goodness, is he affordable? Anyway, please check out Jeffrey. He is amazing. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it sure as heck matters to your readers. And someone else that matters to us is the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We're a like-minded group of individuals trying to help each other rise in the broadcasting community. And please check out our 7-day-a-week schedule. It starts out every day with a BK Minute, where I try to share what I know about this creative thing, maybe help you level up your game and kick you in the butt when it comes to NaNoWriMo. And also, today's Wednesday. So this afternoon, we got John Celestri, the OG himself, teaching you how to draw and to become a better artist. And just a fun show to watch. He is so wonderful. And then tonight is the Truth Mongers with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming. And that all is always thought-provoking, and the conversation gets to be fun. Then tomorrow, let's see, tomorrow night will be Comic Book Spectrum. We love that show. We're on it with the original quartet, Eric Hawkins, Clyde Hall, and Brian Rodman, and myself talking comics, reviewing comics, and discussing things in the industry. And I saw something this week that kind of disturbed me about Superman, and I will try to be maybe talking about that tomorrow if we can fit that in. But anyway, please join us, and we always have a good time. We hope you will too when you watch Comic Book Spectrum at 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Central, followed by Stupid O'Clock at 9 p.m., the most fun geek discussion show of the week, except for the Saturday night show, which is on at 11. But anyway, tonight, or tomorrow rather, it's on at 9 p.m. Eastern, followed possibly by Dan Holofield's Last Man Standing. Always great conversation on there. Please check it out. And yes, we've got the card for the OG himself, Dr. John, the original gangster. Also, check out George Saray and his brand new podcast. Check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook. And please give that a like and follow our schedule. Plus, we want to say thank you to our Patreon supporters. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly. And these wonderful people have their own Patreon, so please check them out too. But on ours, we're going to be dropping a brand new blog this week. Every blog deserves a name, as well as a new chapter of The Terrors. And we are heading into by the way, we're heading into the final phase of The Terrors, where you're going to help name some of the characters if you're one of my Patreon people. So please check that out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And now, enough fall to roll. Let's get to the important part, and that is your comments. And we got a full house today, and we're glad to have everyone here. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, and don't forget to share. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, please. I just lost a bunch of more Russian bots yesterday. Oh man, that's an emotional roller coaster. Anyway, please give us a like if you haven't already, and please, if nothing else, please give us a thumbs up on this video if you enjoy any part of it. Just takes a second, costs you nothing, and it keeps my coffee hot a little longer. Anyway, Jody McPhee from the Desk of Small Press Publisher every Saturday night at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Morning all, morning Brian. Hope all is well. Yes, all is well. Just running a little late this morning. But we're letting Cookie sleep in, so it's all good. And today we're going to go out look and see if we got any comic books at the comic shop today. Did everyone hear that Diamond was the victim of a ransomware attack last week? That's kind of interesting. Anyway, just happy that the six-page comic script is finished and submitted. If there are no further changes, it becomes a matter of twiddling thumbs to see which artist worked on that. I'm excited for you, Joe. That's great. I think that's a sign that you're making it in the creative community when other people ask you to work for them. In fact, it dawned on me a few weeks ago that I've been working for so many other people, and gladly for the last couple of years, that I haven't put out anything under Rising Tide since Amazon Book Reviews made Less Impossible. And I'm like, I got to get on that. Anyway, back to working on the RPG module for Primetime Saturday night. Yes, and I'm going to be dropping off some hardware to Mr. Tockert, your partner on that, hopefully this weekend, so that he can continue his half of the extravaganza. And there he is, the Skunk Rocker. Good to see you this morning, my friend. Good morning, Evermorian. Hey, if you didn't see last night's episode of Chucky, I mean, it's a really good show. You should watch it. Yeah, apparently I made a cameo appearance, or rather, to be more specific, a skunk jumps out of a garbage can in the episode, and I couldn't be happier. Hey, represent, brother, represent. And again, vague booking between me and the skunk here. Pardon me. Skunk, thank you again for letting me read that, and I love that thing, and I can't wait for the sequel. And yes, I'm starting to nag you now. Anyway, Donna Carleen. Hello, Jody and Skunk Rocker. Mwah. Good morning to the beautiful Donna Carleen. Glad to have you here. And it was super cute, and I wanted to pet it. Well, good for you. And happy skunks can be very cute. Donna is correct. And I missed it, Skunk. Been out of the loop when it premiered. Yeah, same as me. I knew it was coming on, but I didn't know it was on already. Not that I watch TV much. I mean, I'm 2 episodes behind in Doctor Who, and that's starting to hurt. Anyway, everyone's saying hello. And Donna, are you hitting on me again? Asks the Skunk Rocker. And please say yes. Please say yes. When isn't she is the better question, says Skunk. That's right. Or rather, said to Skunk from the Jody McPhee from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. And no, Skunky, you're my little brother, and I'm not that perverted. Oh, Donna, don't sell yourself so short. Anyway, Donna isn't Donna. She isn't flirting. Yeah, she's kind of like the Captain Jack Harkness of this operation here. For all you Doctor Who fans, hello there. Stop flirting. I just said hello. I know. You stop it. I love Doctor Who. Anyway, Donna isn't Donna. She isn't flirting. I know. And now, Jody, I'm hitting on that. Says Donna. Ooh, gotta be what I am. I hear you, darling. If I'm with you. If I'm not flirting, check my pulse. And good morning, Donna from Teresa Dunn. Mwah. And Jessica Johnson. Mwah to you. Heroes for Kids out of Perryville, Missouri. Just like that. See? And Donna says, hi, Teresa. And Amy Hale. Mwah, darling. Good to see you. As always, Amy Hale, check her out, because she's expanding her creative repertoire by, she's written a lot of books. She makes me look pretty lax by comparison. Well, anyway, she has just started hanging out her shingle for editing and formatting your book. So please check her out at authoramyhale.com. And if you need some help with your wordage, let her know. And she charges very reasonably. So definitely check her out. All right. And there is the Heroes for Kids Comic-Con, put on by the Heroes for Kids organization. It's a group that uses their super cosplay powers for the benefit of the kids in the community. And the next convention is going to be next year, and I'm going to be there. I got to get my paperwork done. And everyone's saying hello, especially Carl Wisman. Good morning to you, Carl. Good to see you, sir. And there he is, the Historical Fencing Guild, every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Central Time is 7. Anyway, Nicholas Anthony Tockard, good to see you, my brother. Good morning, Nevermorians. The mighty Manatee Man, master of marketing, shares his blessings with you. Oh, I feel warmer already. Good to see you. And good morning to you, Teresa. Hope you're doing well. And send Teresa some love. All right. She's having a couple challenges right now, and she needs to get through the next few days. Okay. Anyway, I take a sip of coffee in your honor. And hey, Historical Fancy Guild, from the desk of a small press publisher, looking to have the module done soon for you to read. And hello, beautiful Keisha Acuff, mwah, our darling, the co-host of Cryptid Crunch on the back of the Cereal Box Network, and all kinds of great broadcasting on our network. So please check her out. And Historical Fencing Guild says, I'm so excited for some of the projects upon which I am working. The chill in the air is really good for mind clearing. I agree. I'm actually making some progress of my own editing. Excuse me. And I've promised myself by summer I'm going to get I will get the Terrors done before New Year. I will get in fact, I'd like to get most of the way through NaNoWriMo. And good morning, honey. I let her sleep in. Anyway, I hope to get Doc Saga started again in the spring, if not sooner. And then I want to get that audiobook out by summer of Sandestein. Anyway, I want to get some stuff off my plate here. And anyway, I'm excited too for you and for me. And Ace Bonnie, morning, sir. What do you call the two monkeys that share an Amazon account? Primates. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I love it. That ace that has the joke in the hole. Morning, Ace from the desk of a small press publisher. Carl Wisman. Excuse me there. Carl Wisman says, I finally got to work on my NaNoWriMo. I'm not officially signed up, but I like to use the cold weather as a cue to do something useful. Yeah, now's a great time to be creating and get that thing edited and put together and get that thing out. Let's see some more Mad Gasser Cheerleader looking at that coming out soon. And Anthony Bouveau, my brother, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well this morning. Hi, Brian and everyone. How are you guys doing? I'm doing well. How are you? And I am extremely glad to hear that, says the Historical Fencing Guild. I am planning a major project in that system soon. Ooh. And Anthony Bouveau, Chucky was fantastic last night. Loved the episode. Didn't get to see it. Oh, I don't watch TV anyway. Very rarely, at least. The only TV I'm watching right now is an episode of Batman 66. As you know, our newest book release is coming from a collaboration between Crazy 8 Press and Becky Books. And that is, we're part of a 2-part series on examinations of the Batman 1966 Batman TV show. And I am in this one, looking at the very first Egghead episode with Vincent Price. This book is called Biff, Bam, Eow, Ask for It by Name, edited by Jim Beard and Rich Hanley. And I'm sharing the stage with Peter David, Keith DeCandido, Greg Cox, John S. Drew, Michael Jan Friedman, Bob Greenberger, Dan Greenfield, Sam Knight, Paul Kupperberg, Alan J. Porter, Aaron Rosenberg, and I'm part of the listing of and many more. Anyway. Let's see if Frank Schildener is in here. Let's see, Teal James Glenn, Ed Caddo, Greg Cox, Chris Franklin, Bobby Nash. How did Bobby Nash get left out? The Key to Time Management, Andrew Farago, John C. Bruning, Klata Barada Batman, And I have one in here. I'm towards the front. Right after Stephen Thompson, excellent or excrement. Anyway, my examination of the Egghead episodes, but please check it out. It's available on Amazon. We will have copies for sale at the Indie Author Book Expo at the Valley Hills Mall on Black Friday. Ooh, I'm excited. I think it's the 26th and 27th of this month. I'll be there with Jen Thompson, author Michaela Jade, and Cindy Kepp will be joining us on Saturday. So please check us out. Anyway, Grant Lankard, good morning. I hope it says good morning. I hope everyone's staying out of trouble. They may be, but I can't speak for myself. And Dan Hollifield, morning. Let's get caffeinated, brother. I love to hear you testify. Dan, I hope you're doing well. I hope the job's not kicking your butt. Are you going back on days soon? I hope. Because the world needs last man standing for sure. And everyone's saying hi. And Anthony Beveau, check out Heroes for Kids Con. It is fairly close to your 20, good buddy. And I will be there if all goes well. And from the Desk Small Press Publisher, if you got a bump or a video advertising yourself or your collective work, please give them to me. I want to freshen up those who are advertising on my show. And in case you don't know what that show is, it is from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. And we're really proud to have him on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And we're proud that he is part of our team on Comic Book Spectrum. And he's just a great, great friend and a super talent. And his stuff looks somewhat like this.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. And I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Check that out every Saturday night at 10 p.m. just before the Saturday edition of Stupid O'Clock. That's From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. You will enjoy that show. Anyway, definitely team Rising Tide. Get your stuff into Joe. ASAP, if not sooner, so that he can advertise you on his show, and be sure to put his thing on yours, his bump on yours. All right. Anyway, Anthony Beveau is sending Teresa positive and healing energies. Thank you, brother. You are so appreciated around here. And Donna, Carlene says, Keisha Acuff, the scariest petite innocent blonde you'll ever meet. Love her. I love her too, or would kill for the chance to. And July 16, 2021 at the Perry Park Center in Perryville, Missouri, our proceeds will benefit the Shriners Children's Hospital. No, I'm not one. And the Community Counseling Center Foundation. I am so there. Anyway, thank you, Jessica. Pardon me a second time. Anyway, Ted is less than $200 away from full funding on his Kickstarter. And Carl puts that link there for Grim 101 Book 2. Check that out, please. It is a really, really good book. And the first one was excellent. And I'm looking forward to the second one, where the tale of Grim Jim is continued. And I will say that if you back this video, you will provide work for someone who will apply his editing skills. I have promised that I am probably not going to do any major editing till aside from a couple projects I have right now. But I've got a couple comic book projects that I've already committed to. One of them is Grim 101, and I want to edit that book. So please make it happen. I get paid off in coffee, okay? And please don't forget to like this video. Thank you, Carl Witzman. Yes, if you enjoy any part of this video so far, please give us a like on Facebook. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And I'm good. Thank you. Well, I knew you were good, Anthony. I just want to make sure you're all right. Anyway, the Historical Fencing Guild says also rising with the coming of winter, the St. Nick's Creators Christmas Mall Facebook group is a great place to shop small this year. I've got to get involved with that and really help you push that. I really do. And speaking of Mr. Davies, there he is. Good morning, all. And $2,313 on Kickstarter, $187 away from funding with 4 days to go. Thanks for all your support. I have pledged to that. I'm working on it, but I want to support it. So please drop a couple dollars onto Ted real fast, all right? Because we only got a couple days. There are all kinds of great thank you levels, and please check them out. Get the one that's right for you. And I got not only a copy of the regular book, which is really cool to read, and really nicely presented. That's the thing. It's a beautiful presentation. It's not like a standard book. And then I also got the bounded, the hardcover edition. That's great. And anyway, I think I just said that, Ted. Well, Carl, maybe he's maybe he's operating independently, and he wants to make sure that we get that book funded. So please, we want to have that that minimum level hit before the 4 days are up. Please, and if you have already pledged, please consider raising your pledge to help make this happen. Grant Lanker says, I'm jealous of how badass Joe is. He is. He probably killed a man in Reno just to watch him die. But no, Joe is one of the kindest guys, one of the nicest guys, and I love having him on Comic Book Spectrum. I may just drop out of the show just so he can be on there. And Dan Hollifield says, I will be going back on days Friday through Monday, 4 on, 4 off, hoping to hear good news about going back to daytime or only soon. Yeah, that will be great, Dan. I'm really pulling for you, man. I know how those swing shifts can be kind of rough on the body. So, yeah, definitely. And it's partly Joe's personality and partly practice. You need more practice on camera, Grant. Yeah, Grant, smile. For the love of God, smile more. I mean, I had to get lectured by Cookie. I was doing my BK Minutes recently, and my RBF came out. For those of you who don't know, RBF is resting bitch face, where it's kind of that casual moment where you're down and your facial muscles relax. And for some reason, mine are terrible. Mine look like a scowl. I saw a picture of myself at a show one time, and I remember the occasion vividly, where I'm looking at a display, and I think it was a beautiful display, but I wasn't aware of how I was looking, and I look like I'm at the thing, and it's like that's not me. That's not how I was feeling. And somebody posted that, and I'm like, oh, please take it down. Everybody's gonna think I don't like that thing. But anyway, and it's kind of funny because I was at a show about 4 years ago, where the moderator. It was a writing panel. Let's just say the moderator was not doing a very good job of keeping his panel engaged. And of the 4 members of the team, 3 of them gave me their RBFs. One of whom I didn't think owned one. The other 2 I'm not surprised on, but the 4th one I was surprised that she owns one. And the only other person who was smiling was a friend who's also a model, and she just smiled. She saw the camera and just smiled out of instinct. Anyway, but no, Joe is a great personality. You will love From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. And great, Dan. Yeah, that's good news. We agree, Dan. Let's get you on day shift forever. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm so blocked up this morning. Anyway, Ace Bonnie asked, why did the tomato turn red? It saw the salad dressing. What a spicy tomato. Anyway, Ted Davies thanking Carl and the Historical Fencing Guild says, seriously, viewers and friends, ghosts in the Russian machine, small creators like Cindy Kemp became, Ted Davies, Carl Witzman, Joe D. McPhee, and I are not caught up in cargo ships on the coast. Off the coast, shop small. That's true. Because if you order now, I guarantee you will get our stuff a lot sooner than you would otherwise. I may be running some sales. To get through the Christmas season, and partly, if you want to give people gifts of my books, I do carry some here. I have my show stock, and probably after Black Friday, I will be having a last minute December sale. Although I have one more show in December, and after I'm done for the year, then I've got one, maybe two in January. This will be the first time I may have a show. 2022 may be the first time I have a show every month. I may go to C2E2, but I've decided I'm not going to. I may not go as a vendor. I have an invitation to take up table space with another one, but I'm just like, I've got too much work to get done. And Historical Fencing Guild, RBF resting Brian face when you relax a fez, and a fez slowly rises from the hair. That's true. This is actually just a weave. That I actually have a lot of hair on my head, and it's movable. Is the thing. I've got so much. I've got excess that can move it. And yes, I'm part dog. Anyway, and so it's just kind of a continuation of the sideburns. I just dyed it and rewove it. It takes a while. I gotta get up about 5 hours early to make it happen, but it's worth it. It looks good. Anyway, I have a personality test from that's from a small press publisher. That's news to me. At times, I'm just being myself. It's not being on camera. It's not about being on camera. It's about being comfortable being you. Exactly. And this is a good time to talk about it because one, I'm almost caught up. Thank you, people. But it's a long story how it worked, but an ex-girlfriend of mine got me onto WILL AM FM TV as a volunteer. And initially I volunteered as on-air personality. Well, I hadn't done anything like that, I ever. And I hadn't been an actor since I was in high school, which had been by that time about, a little over 10 years before. And so I wasn't used to being on air in any sort of way. And so I started coming up with strategies to get through it so I wouldn't get nervous. And the first thing I did was when I got to the studio, and of course the director tells you, okay, you're going to stand here. Here's your camera person. First thing I do is I'd run around to the back of the camera and I'd say, hey, I'm Brian. How you doing? And I'd introduce myself and I said, okay, just wanted to, be nice. Because I had read that, I think I read in a TV Guide long back in the 70s when Linda Carter was on Wonder Woman. I guess she could be a terror at times, that she wanted the show to be right. And so she wasn't afraid to yell at the producers or some of the costume designer or some of the people in charge. But she said she and Lindsay Wagner was the same way on The Bionic Woman. They were always kind to the people behind the scenes, the camera people, at least. The camera people, makeup people, etc. The people in charge, she didn't mind rattling their cage. They didn't mind rattling their cages, but the people who were doing the work on the ground, they were always kind to them. Mostly because they understood their, the workers' position. They didn't get enough credit or time to do what they needed to do. So they were always kind to them. And I thought, that's not a bad way to be. May have been the early formation of the rising tide philosophy. But I always went up and I always said hello, introduced myself to the camera people. Because I figure if nothing else, I want them on my side. And this paid off eventually. Because I remember one Christmas party, I was there and the chief director ran a blooper reel, and basically it was like you have your A camera, which has the scene that's on, or it's on the screen, but the B and C cameras, so we had a 3-camera setup. You didn't think they were recording, but he managed to get them to do so. And so you had people like on-air personalities like picking their noses and fussing at their clothing in embarrassing ways, and it was kind of funny, except to the people who were on screen. And after the video ran, I went up to him and I said, dude, thank you for not including me in your montage there, because I know I've done more than my share. And he goes, you weren't in it, Brian, because I like you. So it always pays to be nice to the little people, because they're the ones that can really mess you up. Anyway, in the sequel, you can buy Mad Gasser purloin panties via eBay. Maybe. Might be from China. So they'll take a while to get there. But Carl, you ought to do it domestically. You could wear them for a day or two, then sell them. I'm just saying, opportunity is knocking at your door. And speaking of knocking at our door, Ryan Permisson is knocking at ours. Ryan, good to see you, my friend. And he has shared the show. Thank you so much. Please share the show with your friends on Facebook and YouTube so they can see the cool people like Ryan and Carl and everybody that you hang out with, okay? And Grant Laker says, I got a couple conventions lined up for 2022. I'm going to start distancing myself from that guy I sometimes share a table with because he's kind of creepy around women. Grant, frankly, I'll tell you the truth. You posted that a couple months ago, and a couple people reached out to me and said that, that's kind of wrong. That you don't want to, you are judged by the company you keep. And if he's creepy around women, you need to get yourself away from him as soon as possible. I don't think you should think about dumping that guy. I think you should dump that guy and let him know why, because he needs to change his attitude. That's the sort of thing that will get him in trouble one day. I mean, yes, I flirt with my friends at conventions, but they expect that of me. And it's just in fun. But if he's doing that, if he's making a lot of women uncomfortable with the way he behaves, you need to get away from him, Grant, now. Faster than now. Because his antics are going to reflect on you. That would be the same thing as if you found out that one of the people that you collaborate with was a total douche nozzle. Okay, and you don't want that. You have to be mindful of your own brand, and people do judge you by the company you keep. Fortunately, I counteract my lack of personality by hanging out with people like Carl and Donna and Amy and Kathy and Lacey and Anthony and a whole bunch of really cool people. And I reflect their residual cool. But especially as a new creator, Grant, you got to get over that, man. Seriously. So I'm lecturing you on the air. Dump him. And as my mother once told me about an ex that I brought home to meet her. Anyway, let's see. We got more comments. And Ryan Permisson says, good morning, Nevermind. How are you? I'm doing well. Excellent. Hope school is going well for you. Subscribe to the Nerd Culture channel today on YouTube and make that man happy. Jeffrey Hayes. Hey, we've been saying nice things about you, brother. Good morning, all. Keeping busy. Dropping in, say hello, and I hope you have a great week. PlasmaFireGraphics.com. Definitely check that out. Thank you for the ongoing sponsorship of the show. And check out what Jeffrey does for other people, such as the Snow series. Number 7 in the Snow Shorts has just been released by Bobby Nash and Ben Books. And it's written by Charles F. Millhouse. I cannot wait to read that. And check out the interview with artist Keisha Akov on the YouTubers there. Please check that out. 2 wonderful, lovely people getting together and talking. And check out the interview with Carl Witzman on, and I quote, every Saturday at noon Eastern. And check out this record-breaking episode of And I Quote with comic book writer Brian Rodman. Oh my gosh, the laughs that will ensue. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And check out this fascinating interview with comic book writer Charles Santino. Excellent. And good idea, Grant. Eliminate things that hold you back. Exactly. If you want somebody that enhances you, bring Angie. Seriously. Okay, enough lecturing. Anyway, Ryan Permisson says, join us Saturday at 12 Eastern for And I Quote with cosplayer, podcaster, and writer Kelly Gutner, who I love. She's a dear friend of mine. We've known each other for 20 years. Anyway, seems like it. No, we met at the Superman celebration. We've probably been friends for probably at least 10 years. So she's a lovely lady. She really is. And we'll also be taking your questions, so don't miss it. And there is that link to that show there. Do go and attend. And I'll just have Donna and Michaela wear them. There we go. Putting in an order. Okay. Anyway, Ryan Permisson said, and they got to still be warm. Anyway, if you want to be a guest on And I Quote with Ryan Permisson at noon Eastern on Saturdays, check him out and please sign up at that Calendar right there. They have friendly conversation. You can promote yourself and they can tape record it or pre-record it if you need it. The Historical Fencing Guild says, I'm planning new content for my art and gaming channel. I would love to set up a conversation about how gaming affects the authors. Dude, I would love to be in on that because gaming helped my creativity so very much. And if you haven't noticed, you may not have been around me when it's happened, but somebody will suggest a may say, well, I have a problem with the storyline, and I'll give them some ideas, because ideas are cheap, people. We touched on this in BK Minutes recently. And, it comes easy. And part of that is from improv training in theater. And part of that is, a lot of that is from gaming, which is improv theater at its heart. So yeah, it's been a huge benefit for me, and also the ability to come up with weirdness on a for a storyline on the drop of a hat. I'll tell you one time, I was part of a collective of game GMs in Champions. This was probably about 30 years ago. And basically, it started out with 5 people, boiled down to one of them left, because 3 of them would get together and they would have votes on how the rest of the group should behave. And so one person left and wasn't having it. And I said, I feel constricted. I want to, well, we're not going to let you go, Brian. It's your turn next to GM for the next 4 weeks. I'm like, okay, fine. So, and they said, oh, by the way, we voted, the 3 of us, and 3 out of 5. So that's a majority. And now it's 3 out of 4. And they said, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, none of your damn time travel stories. And you can't do this, can't do that. And I said, okay, fine. So I proceeded to construct an adventure that used every bit of the things that they didn't want me to use. Because I'm like, you know what? We're going to go through this adventure, and 1, you're going to have fun, and 2, you're going to be holding the door for me to leave. And basically, I pushed all their buttons. They didn't like it because they really at heart weren't the kind of gamers that like being challenged. And I welcomed that for my characters, because that's how you grow. That's how you get the extra XP, people. Well, anyway, I put them all through the ringer, and they all said, wow, that was a great adventure. We're glad you ignored us. And I said at the end of the adventure, I said, I'm glad you had fun. I had fun too, and I resign. And it's final. And I picked up my books, walked out the door, and just went back to being a player. But anyway, yeah, gaming has affected my creativity, and only in positive ways. Scott Cracker says, and Brian, about your vague posting there, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I already have a sequel ideas. Yes, but let's concentrate on getting the first film out before I do any writing on a sequel. I understand, brother. Seriously. No, and I'm going to tell on Skunk. Skunk wrote a screenplay for a horror film. And it's good. I am really excited by seeing this out. I love it. And if I still acted, I'd be Joe. I'd want to be Joe. But yeah, seriously, it was like it read like you've been doing it for years. Seriously, I can tell you've been working on it in your head. It is marvelously written. There were a few kvetches, because no work is perfect, not even mine, especially not mine. But I went through and I found myself slipping out of editor mode and just in reader enjoying mode. It was that good. And it was certainly more fun, with great dialogue, vivid characters. And it was funny because Skunk had a physical copy at HalloCon a couple weekends ago. And Donna and Michaela got to see it before I did, but Skunk was like trying to get it into as many people's hands as possible. And I only got a few pages in, but already I'm like pulled into it, and I wasn't fighting to get out. And both Donna and Michaela were like, Skunk, bring that thing back. We're not done with it. We want to see how it ends. It's great. I hope you guys Donna, I know you're here. I don't know if Michaela's here yet. But I hope you get to read the rest of it. It is awesome. It holds up, and the pacing is wonderful, with the moments of amping up the tension, then diffusing it, then ramping it up, then letting it drop again. And I'm currently reading this book, Becoming a Writer, Staying a Writer, by J. Michael Straczynski, who created Babylon 5 and Sense8, and wrote the Academy Award nominated movie Changeling. And he talks about how, comedies that do nothing but this are not comedies, because they don't give the person a chance to relax and get back, to take a breather so that you could ramp it back up again. And the same thing with horror or adventure. And study the great filmmakers like Spielberg or Hitchcock, and they do the very same thing. But anyway, yeah. When you get around to producing it, I want a copy of that film. And when you get to writing the second one, I want to be one of your editors. Okay. Anyway, and if I had more time and if you'd given me permission, I probably would have gone and actually like found, you had some punctuation errors, but actually your spelling was dead on. Your spelling was great, dead on. And I think there were only like a couple of sentences that weren't quite clear, and a couple paragraphs with pronouns that I had trouble with. But other than that, the script read marvelously, and I'm calling dibs on the novelization. Anyway, Carl Witzman says, I have only residual cool because I gave away the original cool. I never had any to begin with. I think my parents took me into the doctor and had it removed when they snipped that little thing under my tongue. Anyway, the Historical Fencing Guild says, I am many things. Cool just isn't one of them. Dude, you are not cool. You are icy cold. I'm telling you. Carl Witzman, Skunk, you can pay to have part of the sequel ready just in case someone asks you for it. If the movie does go well, you'll want to hit it hot with a follow-up. That's good advice. How many movies nowadays, the thing barely gets through the weekend, and a big studio says, okay, you've got the green light, start on the sequel. I'd like to see that happen for you, and I think it could, Skunk. I really do, if you get hooked up with the right people on that. And believe me, says Grant Lankard, Angie comes whenever she has time. Her dad is a salesman, and she inherited all those skills. She could sell ice to a snowman, or whatever that saying is. Well, seriously, you Cookie's the same way. She sells a lot of my books, and she's awesome. Good morning, honey. There is a cup of coffee downstairs. You may want to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Coffee, yes, yes. And while you're down there, etc. It wasn't, I love you. I was teasing you. You teased me. You did. I saw it. Anyway, we have Empyrean Vale here. Excuse me, I can't read this morning. Empyrean Vol. It's good to see you. And the BK Met was good. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. We've been having fun doing them. I'm finding they are a bit of a challenge, mostly because my phone is such a piece of crap. Transferring it from my phone to my Google account is quite the challenge some nights. But it's taught me two things: how to do it more efficiently, write down the way that worked, and I'm going to get a new phone this winter, I think. But anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and we've been doing it, and we are going to continue doing it. The plan is we're probably going to do it till about halfway through January, and then we're going to take a break and see if, actually, I say a break. We're probably going to continue to do it daily, but we may change up the format a little bit. But we're having a good time, and we hope everyone's getting some use out of it. And we've been getting some good comments, so please watch and please leave me a comment, and I promise to get back to you on it. And Damian Waldron, the genius who created the Brian K. Morris Funko Pop. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh. Yes. How do you like it? Anyway, hello everybody, popping in to say hi and wish you all a creative, amazing day. Hey, Damien, thank you very much. And Damien and I are collaborating on a comic book story, and he had some ideas. I'm like, Grant Lankard will tell you I'm a pain in the butt to work with, but Damien came up with some ideas, and I'm like, those really are quite good. I'm willing to change my concept to accommodate them. Because he came up with some excellent suggestions visually for the story we are working on, which I'm thinking it could be a graphic novel one of these days, if not sooner. Anyway, Michaela J. Darling, glad to see you. Hey, they're working on a ghostwriting project and listening. Well, good for you. Hey, check out Michaela's stuff. She's back to doing her morning motivationals and tidbits and scribbles from Monday. So anyway, please check it out. And there's the Grand Illusion Show. Good to see you, Jake Lindsay. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Just found an amazing news. I'm going to be featured in a Big Time Magician magazine, a full page of a trick I made for Christmas time. That's awesome. That's beautiful, Jake. Well done. Congratulations, man. Keep us posted about when that's coming out. And good morning to Eric Hawkins. Good morning, sir. Hope you are doing well today. Excuse me. And also, Eric is the co-host of Comic Book Spectrum on Thursday nights with Brian Robin, Clyde Hall, and myself. And he is the reason people tune in. because the three of us. No, actually, Clyde has beautiful reviews. That's why he goes last, so that we don't drive everyone off, because people wait for his reviews. They are amazing. And also, Brian is just so much fun and cuddly and warm and adorable. And Eric, he's got a good pitching arm, so we always know that the comic book will be tossed properly. And me, I'm just marking time until the others can get ready. Anyway, no, check it out. It's a fun show on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Grant Lacker says, I agree about dungeon mastering. I did it once and found it very challenging. It's interesting playing a whole session and then realize you have to throw it all out at the last minute. We had a saying, Grant, that called X+1, that the game master can come up with X number of ways that a scenario can go, and the player will come up with X+1. And in fact, during the thing that I mentioned in the very first episode, one of the players objected to my pushback. Because, well, that wouldn't happen, because so-and-so bosses, said they wouldn't do this to him, blah 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 blah. And it's like, really? Then why didn't you put that in the information you gave me on your character? Well, I didn't think to. I didn't write it down or nothing. It's all in my head. I said, okay, fine, but we're dealing with it. We're not going back. And so I scared the hell out of them. And I kind of put them on guard that you don't know what's going to happen for the next 3 weeks, so deal with it. Oh, and you're now an ordained minister? When did this happen? Seriously, congratulations, Jake. And Jessica Johnson says, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. I have to head out for an appointment. Big hugs to you and Cookie. Love you, Jess. Much love to you and Lonnie and the family. You guys take care. And if I don't see you before then, have a great weekend. Love you guys. And I'm curious why you're making a movie and not a comic book, Skunk. Nothing against movies. It's just so much easier to get a comic book made. Well, let Skunk answer that. I'm not going to guess on it. Donna Carlene says, we did to read the rest of it. I'm not really a horror fan, but I loved it. Looking forward to seeing the movie. And yep, I read it cover to cover. It's amazing. Yeah, I just finished reading my version of it, and yeah, it's a knockout. It really is. And look how far Skunk has come. Applause. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm proud of you, Skunk. And and one of the highlights was meeting Skunk at HowlCon. Skunk and the whole the core Stupid O'Clock crew. It was a great experience. It was. And there is author Kathy Jackson. Mwah! The lady who I found out has an RBF. Anyway, hello, good morning, hugs. Hope you have a beautiful day. If you were someone love feel-good romance, please check out her books on Amazon. Yes, Kathy Jackson. I'll tell you the guys the truth. I don't mind testifying about this. That I did not care for romance books. I tried reading some, like Barbara Cartland. I only got a page and a half before I threw that thing across the room into the trash. Tried reading things like Jacqueline Suzanne and Jackie Collins and some of the more contemporary ones. Just couldn't get into them, because I thought they were, even from my level, I thought they were, basically softcore porn. And it's like, I was of the mind, if you're going to do porn, just be honest about it. Just tell everybody we're writing porn. Okay. Well, anyway, I read Kathy's, and it's not porn. Okay. It is not porn. I want to stress that, but it was Yours to Love. I read it, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really did. And I've been privileged to be a beta reader for her on a couple of projects. And Jericho's Walls was amazing. I seriously love that book. And I definitely got to get Written on His and Her Heart, Written on Their Hearts, Written on Sandstein Hearts. I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, Kathy, it's good to have you here. I love you, hon. And I miss you. And Ted and Carl Cigar Show Thursday at 11 a.m. It's the Thanksgiving 2021 special. Oh, cool. I didn't know you guys were doing that. I'm glad you are, because I love the cigar show. I really do. So check in with Carl and Ted, and always a good time. Even if you don't smoke, it's great. And somebody who's smoking because he's that talented and works that hard is Mark Lerner. Greetings from the prairie. Mark, always glad to see you. Hope you're at your highly profitable job today. And Drink with the Davies, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Chris is mixing up the Tequila Sunrise, and Ted will help. We'll just see how much of a help Ted is. I just know how that goes. And the Silence Arts, Chad Nuss, it is good to see you, sir. I'm glad you woke up before the crack of noon today. I know how you artists are. Anyway, good morning, all. Hope you're all doing well, except for Brian Robin. Well, so far, so good. That's Silence Arts. Chad, it's good to see you fighting back. It shows some spirit. Don't let them crush you completely. And anyway, check out Dastardly Dingoes, or as they were rechristened last night, the Dastardly Dingles. And, and it was a great, great show on the movie Dune. So if you have seen it, if you haven't seen it like me, I think that's worth checking out. So please check out last night's Dastardly Dingoes. And excuse me, Ace Bonnie said, I just remembered BKM pants sign. Yes, we got that at HalloCon. I saw a sign outside a shop saying 50% off men's trousers. Turns out they were selling shorts. That reminds me of a terrible joke about somebody who's dead now, and I'm not going to say it. And Chad says, I am enjoying your BK Minutes. Thanks for your tidbits of wisdom. Well, Chad, thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Like I said, we have fun doing it, and it's quite a production. But the nice thing is Cookie and I get to work together on it. She is responsible for my graphics and my editing. Although if you need editing, talk to JeremyWoodring.com. Because he's awesome. He's really awesome. It's just the Cookie's closer. And I can pay her off in coffee. But can't I, honey? Oh, she's ignoring me. That's fine. But anyway, but no, thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. I really do. And Truth Mongers discuss MJ tonight at 7 p.m. MJ, Mary Jane Watson, marijuana? What? I must tune in to find out. And the algebraic theory of gaming. Yeah, exactly. We've reduced it down to a scientific formula. It's like the E equals MC square of role play gaming. Yeah, that's one thing. Since we moved here to Lafayette, we haven't been able to find a gaming group that works on our schedule. Unfortunately, with Cookie working mostly nights now. But no, I would love to sit in on a session with Nick. We got to maybe get something going at the Fowler Library, maybe an afternoon of role-playing game. Anyway, thanks from the Grand Illusion Show. I sent the editor a video of a trick, and he said, it's okay. I put you in a magazine. I said, definitely. It's supposed to come out next month. Well, good for you. Good for you. And yes, Ace Bonnie, we all know that Eric Hawkins is the main host on Comic Book Spectrum. Actually, it alternates between Brian, Clyde, and Eric. I'm just there to push the buttons. And believe me, I'm all about pushing buttons. And Grand Illusion Show, I registered last night to be an ordained minister. I can now do weddings and other stuff. That's interesting. Is that now this isn't one of those universal life church things, is it? Or is it in your religion? I'm curious. I'm not trying to mock you. I'm genuinely curious. I did think for a while about joining the universal life church just to be able to do weddings. This is a funny story. I'm friends of a friend with a writer named Tony Lee out of Great Britain. He's written some Doctor Who stuff and a lot of stuff on his own. Well, anyway, he's done some mainstream work, like on I want to say Superboy for DC Comics. But anyway, he it's one of the, this is about 10 years ago or so, or about 15 actually, he went to San Diego Comic-Con and he was to officiate at the wedding of a couple friends there. And so he's in his priestly raiments, which looked quite fancy. And everybody was coming up to him, asking him who he was cosplaying as. And after a while, it started getting to him. And so I guess all the attention in that question when he's actually there to do a job. And finally, he started telling people, said, well, yes, I'm an ordained priest. I'm here to do the last rites, but I heard somebody's just passed away here at the convention, and I'm supposed to do the last rites. Does anyone know where David Tennant is? So this caused a bit of a panic. And Carl Witzman is an ordained minister too, Grand Illusion. And to answer your question, Grant, I've always wanted to be a filmmaker. Nothing wrong with that, skunk. And the thing is, we both, comics and film serve the same purpose, and that is primarily visual entertainment, or a combination of visual and crisp dialogue. And plus, in the early days of comics, people like Fritz Lang and Orson Welles, a number of filmmakers influenced early artists like Jack Kirby and Bob Kane. And, and then in recent years, we've had a number of people like Robert Rodriguez, who was very influenced by comic books, or Zack Snyder. That it's now comic books are almost repaying their original influence, and they're becoming more symbiotic now. I think that's great. I really do. And looking forward to it, Ted, says Dan Holyfield. I bet you are. And when BKM said to Cookie, why you're down there, my eyebrows raised up, same as BKM. Yeah, you're probably thinking the blood will fly now. And DMGM is an art of flexibility and prep. My weekly game on Red Valkyrie presents Dice Demon Dudes. # always promote. Oh man, has been wonderful for keeping my mind loose from and escaping post 2020 brain lock. Grant Lanker says it's nice to have a Wednesday off. I've been missing watching Nevermind the Furthermore. Well, we missed you, dude. We're glad you're here. Grant Lanker said an idea I had for future volumes of Memoirs of the Morbid, labeling the volumes with colors instead of numbers, because I don't want people to think that they have to read them in order. That's not a bad idea. That seriously is a good idea. Well, it's kind of like these. I have one. Well, hold on. Here's the other one. Oh, prep is everything. And talk about flexibility. These are specific volumes. And they are numbered, but by the same token, visual identity. This is important in the serious books. You have the same motif, but different colors. Now, I'm not in this one, but it's going to be good. This one has Jim Beard, Ed Catto, Keith D. Candido, Chuck Dixon, Paul Kupperberg, Rich Handley, Dan Greenfield, Bob Greenberger, Chris Franklin, Will Murray, Mark B. Raykop, Peter Sanderson, Stephen Thompson, and other people. Both are really good books. Y'all want to check them out. And like I said, I will have them with me at the Indie Author Book Expo Black Friday. Yes, Black Friday this year at the Valley West Mall in West Des Moines, Iowa. And Cookie will be with me, along with Michaela Jade and Cindy Kep and Jen Thompson. It'll be great. But yeah, Grant, I think it's a great idea. I really do. Good thinking. And Truthmonger's Majestic 12. Oh, that's right. Yes. We definitely check that out. And Brian, I have no problem meeting up for gaming or using this lovely tech to game digitally as well, something referred to as StreamYard. I've heard of that. I love that thing. And by the way, StreamYard, any StreamYard users, check your dashboard this week, people. We got a couple early Christmas presents, like the Teams function, finally. And we've also got a new layout as of a couple weeks ago for pictures and just all kinds of cool things. So, definitely check out what we got. And Grand Illusion Show, yeah, the Universal Life Church is where I registered. Okay, cool. I wondered about that. And George Saray, good morning, everyone. Good morning to our new host on our podcast network. Please check it out. It's always fun. He is a great host, and his podcasts are slick and entertaining. What more could you want? And we are now caught up with the comments. So in order to give you time to think of more stuff to say, let's promote somebody who's here. We did for Joe earlier. Let's see who. Oh, we've got to get this lovely lady. We talked about neuroses, and we all love this lady. She's a fantastic talent. So check out the work of author Amy Hill. AuthorAmyHale.com. Check her out. Her books are amazing. I've read a couple of them, and she is, wow. I could learn some stuff from her. She is amazing. And also, if you need editing or book formatting, please contact Amy for her very, very affordable rates. Amy Hale's music is so dang prepper. Yeah, and Amy also did the intro and outro to this program. She is that awesome. And my honey has brought more coffee. Now, we have just gotten a message here. Thank you. concerning the computer that we're gonna have to deal with in a couple minutes. Anyway, just finished reading Amy's book last night and left my review on Amazon. Loved it. Yeah, I've got a copy of Neurosis. I am so looking forward to getting to that. It's on my pile of books I need to read. Anyway, Grant Laker says I start bopping while sitting in front of my computer. Yeah, I do too. She is great. And Grand Illusion Show asks, I meant to ask, have you stayed at Ramada Inn? I'm trying to find out what their rates are and what time their pool is open. Okay. Jake, it varies from location to location. It also varies by the time of year, whether there are any local events. So your best bet is to go onto the Ramada Inn website for the location you want to go to, and they should be able to answer all of your questions. And as far as the pool goes, usually like about 10 to 9, I think, at most places. But anyway, the rates, you'll need to check with them personally. And I'm through using any services to try to get an alleged discount. I am going to deal with the hotels directly because, one, I get points that I can use towards future stays. And also I can, last time I used the service when I was down for non-con, I got royally messed over. So I am more than happy to deal with the places directly. So anyway, but check with check Ramada Inn's website and go for the site, the location that the specific one you want to get to, that you want to stay at, and they'll have your rates. And you can also, if there's a specific time, because like I said, the rates will go up and down depending on when and what's happening. So that's my recommendation. And let's see. And Silence Art says, I don't know if it was said already, but please go support Ted Davies Kickstarter. Yes, so close to funded and 4 days left. Love to support Ted as he is good to all of us indie creators. So go show him some love. Yeah, definitely. And Grim 101, the first book was fantastic. And the second book, I'm looking forward to editing it. And Grand Illusion Show says, imagine the song Amy hates is her trailer. You know the song. Actually, I gave her one that I hope will atone for my meanness about that baby shark thing. Everyone, when you get a chance, we're not going to do it here, but when you get a chance, go on YouTube and look up It's Raining Tacos. It's Raining Tacos. It's a great song. It's so much fun. Meat. So shell, meat, lettuce, cheese, shell, meat, lettuce, cheese, shell, meat, lettuce, cheese, shell, meat,
Buddy?
cheese. What?
If you're doing that, then you're going to spoil your
Lunch?
secret link.
Oh, no, we haven't put that in. Now, actually, we should put the 24-hour one as the secret link in the newsletter this month. Somebody made a 24-hour version of that song. Anyway, moving on. George Sarras says, much love to Amy. Glad we each got to be interviewed on each other's shows. Yes, definitely. Both shows were great. I caught them both, George. And I deal with Wyndham directly, and I get points and free nights. Yeah, I had 1 year where I had stayed in a number of motels, obviously. I had 1 year where almost all my rooms were free. That was nice. So no more hotels.com, no more Expedia, and no more that one I had for non-con. Anyway, Historical Fencing Guild, solid commercial, and I want to thank you, BKM. Okay. All the interview shows are great, but so many folks are plugging crowdfunding that freeform discussion shows like Nevermind the Furthermore are vanishing. Yeah, and we have one more guest that we will have next week. But it's Michael Watson, most epic Mike. He is so much fun. And I'm going to have people on the show that I just enjoy talking to. And in fact, we are, and I know that for, a lot of us are kickstarted out, we either run them or we support them or what. But the thing is, I have some people I want to support, but there's specific people I want on because I just like talking to them. Like Karen Nicole. I told her anytime she wants to pop onto the show, I'll send her a link. And I like, I do enjoy the freeform. And also we are going to bring back Clever Title Pending. Chances are what it's going to be is the first view, and the people who will get to ask questions will probably be my Patreon supporters. So, plus maybe a couple extra that I know will ask good questions. So, and if nothing else, we'll have a shorter show, but I'll do all the questioning, and I don't mind that because I like the conversation. I like asking questions, and especially when I get a compliment. My biggest compliment is like, "That's a great question," or "I've never been asked that before." I was interviewing one time at the Superman celebration, Gerard Christopher and John Rockwell. And those names may or may not be familiar to you, but John Rockwell starred in an unsold pilot circa 1960 for The Adventures of Superboy, which would replace The Adventures of Superman in syndication, but it didn't get picked up. And then Gerard Christopher had a 4-season run as Superboy in the early 90s on a syndicated TV show. I think it was the number one show in syndication right behind Star Trek The Next Generation. And he's a great actor, writer, director, does a lot of great stuff. But I got to ask, I got to talk to both of them. It was quite the privilege to interview them. But what was fun was at one point, I don't remember what I asked now, but Gerard Christopher just turned his head and looked at me and smiled. And he goes, I've been doing interviews for 30 years now, and I've never been asked that question. And I thought that is the biggest compliment I could get. That is great. So anyway, yeah, we are committed to Nevermind the Furthermore. So the only morning it may not happen is when I'm not here. But anyway, we are glad to present that. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for that compliment, man. And we appreciate your show on Friday nights at 8 p.m. It's rollicking and it's a great information show. Don't you stop either, okay? And Grand Illusion says, I'm going to be going to a conference by myself for the first time, so I'm planning ahead of time, which is what you should do. So yeah, check out where you're going to be staying and all, and get your information now and deal with them directly. Short term, that might seem odd, but the long-term effect of this wonderful community building show cannot be overstated. So thank you so much, Historical Fencing Guild. Nick, I appreciate that. And we have built a community here, and I'm glad we are able to support each other's projects. And that's why, the thing is, I do vet people who do come on the show. And Mike Watson will be on the show, I think, next week. I have to check the schedule. Mostly because I like talking to the guy. He's great. And yeah, he's got a Kickstarter going, but we had Dan Doherty. Our views on that one just went. It's the first episode I've ever had that broke 1,000 views, and it's because Dan has got a great following. Plus, he's a great guy. He's hilarious. And you've got to check out his not his Kickstarter, but his Patreon. He does a 3 times a week comic strip that's always funny. It's great. I love reading that thing. And last week, I got a postcard in the mail from him. He does quarterly postcards to his Patreon subscribers. It's really, really good stuff. So yeah, Nick, we've built something wonderful here, and you're a part of it, brother. And yep, next up is the IAB in Iowa on Black Friday. That's going to be fun, Mikhail. I'm looking forward to seeing you, sweetheart. I will use some hugs. Anyway, someone needs to splice together the It's Raining Taco song and Tom Atkins yelling at the end of Halloween, "Stop it, stop it, stop it!" George Seurat. The thing is, if you go to the site where you find It's Raining Tacos, they've actually done a 24-hour loop and a 1-hour loop. So anyway, and good morning to Ninja Genko. Glad to see you here. As always, hope you're having a great morning. And Grand Illusion show, I just made a trick. You might like it. Deals with Jurassic Park. I show a card with a Trex on it. I turn the card around. The Trex disappears. That sounds cool. And Amy Hale says, thank you, Michaela. Glad you like it, Grant. And Michaela says, welcome, Amy. I will hop over to Goodreads later, too. That's the thing. When you read a book, especially by one of our crew, please leave a review because it helps their algorithms, helps them get discovered more, and is just good for the soul. Anyway, Historical Fencing Guild says, I love the conversation interviews. I just wonder if maybe a format where the full conversation is a bit separate from the Kickstarter. IGG, here's my stuff, here are my tiers. You'll notice when I talk about their tiers is mostly at the start of the show because everyone should know, and at the end of the show because by then you've gotten to like them. And yeah, I'm weary of shows where it's all, here's my Kickstarter, here's my Kickstarter, here's my Kickstarter. Hey, are you doing a Kickstarter? Yeah, I'm doing a Kickstarter. Here's my Kickstarter, here's my Kickstarter. That gets tiresome. And And I will say, like I said, I vet a lot of people. And there are some people that, they're going to get blocked. In fact, I do block some. They come on, I get a DM and they say, hey, I've got a Kickstarter. When am I going to be on your show? It's like, I'm not part of the Kickstarter package, and, you know, and, no, I'm not going to say it. I had a bit of snark there. I'm not going to say it. Because it's actually something I'm going to ask some of my Kickstarter friends about eventually. But I noticed that, they make the rounds to the shows. I will touch on it a little, but I can always tell when they're getting close to the end because they look so haggard. They're on all the shows, and God bless people like Lisa Malone and Heather Ellen who can get them on these shows. I love those two ladies dearly, and they have provided us with some really terrific guests. But I keep saying, and I mean this, I don't care if you have something to sell. I care if you have something to say. Now, Michael Watson, he's a great broadcaster. He's a super, super artist. And he's got his own little comic publishing empire out of Columbus, Ohio. I haven't had time to finish it, but I've read some of his stuff, and it's good. It's really good. So that's why I want him on the show. And Mike Watson is just a master showman. He really is. And I have to say, he and I bonded. He found us somehow. And next thing I know, I get a DM and he goes, man, I love your drive, man. Don't ever stop. And I went and watched his and I'm like, holy cow, I'm just a firecracker. You're 3 Mile Island, dude. Yeah, I love his stuff. And whenever I can, I try to catch his broadcast. He is great. He's a great interviewer. And he's given me some good guests. And I hope I can throw some his way too. So anyway, yeah, Mike Watson is a great guy. And that's why he's going to be back on this show. And I hope you all have some questions for him because he is that awesome. And I don't know if I call it Tyrannosaurus, but I'm used to Trex from Jurassic Park. I love the line, we have a Trex. And I like it that things are smaller in the mirror than they appear. Hold on a second here. Okay. We have just gotten a notice from the computer. It's about to reboot. So we've got just enough time to close out the show. We are caught up with your comments. So folks, and plus I have a couple things to do. We are picking up equipment that we are going to use for the show. Thank you, Carl Witzman. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who's supporting our Patreon page. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly. And today I am going to use some of your generosity, and I appreciate you people so much. We are going to upgrade our computer system so that we can bring you a better show, a more interesting show visually, and solve a couple problems that this show is prone to. So anyway, these are the people who are on our Kickstarter, on our Patreon list, who are supporting the show, and we are so grateful to you all. And please check out their names too, because they've got accounts of their own. They can use some love, and for $1 a month you can get mentioned on this show. Look at this card, it needs your name on it. If you want to see your name there, check out our levels at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And yes, we're talking faster for a reason. Also, we are part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, a group of like-minded individuals who have banded together to help each other rise in this community and to increase our YouTube subscriptions. So please check out our YouTubes and check out all of our shows. We've got your entertainment covered 7 days a week. Today is Wednesday. Tonight is The Truth Mongers with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming. And this afternoon will be Dr. John, the original gangsta. He is going to be talking artwork. He's going to be talking animation. He's got a great comic book called Bloodwing Angel that's on Indiegogo right now that you'll need to check out. And then tomorrow will be Carl and Ted's Carl and Ted's Cigar Show. And then 7 p.m. tomorrow night will be Comic Book Spectrum with fresh reviews, fresh information, fresh all kinds of things, and 4 fresh hosts at 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Central, followed by Stupid O'Clock at 9 p.m., and hopefully Last Man Standing at 11, all times Eastern. So anyway, thank you all very much for your support of our peeps. And also, we want to thank Jeffrey Hayes. I hope you're still listening, brother. We love you. He is the genius behind Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. If you want a beautiful book cover for your book, check out what Jeffrey Hayes can do for you. Look at the Plasma Fire Graphics page on Facebook, and then check out plasmafiregraphics.com, where you can contact Jeffrey directly and ask for his rate card. He's affordable. He's wonderful. He's a great guy. Anyway, Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. Bet on it. At Grand Illusion Show, Columbus is where I'm actually going for the conference, which is part of Columbus. Is he in? I'm really not sure. I've never asked. When you're there, if you want a really good meal, if you have nothing against protein, go to Schmidt's Meat House on Kossuth Street in Columbus. You'll thank me later. It's fantastic. And Carl Wisman says, good show. Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it, man. And we're going to go out and get that monitor today. And Grant Lacker says, don't die, feed Cookie. That's my goal. And have a good one, Brian. You too, Nick. We'll be talking to you soon because Cookie and I got to talk. And great show. Thank you, Ace Bonnie. Thank you for being here and being a great part of it. And don't die, feed my pet Trex. Okay. You do that thing. And Skunk Cracker says, don't die, feed Cookie. Have a good day. Bye. Hey, Skunk, thank you again. And you stay awesome, brother. And laters, everyone. Mwah, Donna, Carlene, love you, hon. Thank you for being here, and happy post-birthday to you. She's 23. Anyway, folks, thank you all for being here. Thank you for putting up with the computer here. Anyway, we got to get going, and we will talk to you tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum, and definitely talk to you Friday morning on a fresh live episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. So, everyone, thank you for being here, and let me get to where I need to be. Okay, there we are. And as always, folks, thanks for watching. Appreciate you putting up with us, and stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great hump day, a great new comic book day, a great Wednesday, everyone. We'll see you Friday on Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.